Hey guys, welcome back and happy fall. I'm so excited that it's officially fall. If you guys know me, you know this is my favorite season. I cannot get enough. I love the weather, the fashion. I'm clearly wearing a green sweater, got my fall smoky eye, my house is decorated, and I'm like fall ready. So today we are talking all about my current favorites, products that I've been loving for the entire month of August and September. I have a couple things in here that I'm kind of cheating on that I just started using, but they're so good. It doesn't really usually take a long time for me to know if I love a product or not, so I had to mention them, and I think the one especially is so perfect for fall. So we have some good stuff here to talk about, some random, some like lifestyle things, and beauty of course. So lots of good stuff. Grab a snack, get cozy, grab your fall blankets if it's cold enough. I mean, here in PA it's been getting really cold in the evenings, which I love. I just feel like fall is the best season, and I challenge you to tell me otherwise, but honestly it is. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. We're just gonna jump into it, so let's get into the favorites. So I'm gonna start with like the non-makeup related things first, but things that I've been using in like my everyday routine regardless, like my beauty routine. So first we have the Frank Body Charcoal Body Scrub and Mask. So I actually wanna give a big thank you to Frank Body for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I'm so excited to be working with them today. I actually have been loving their products for probably like 2 years at this point. I always use their Coffee Body Scrub and their Shimmer Body Scrub. They're my favorites, and I've talked about them in several pamper routines, shower routines. I even talked about their Shimmer Body Scrub in my last current favorites, but this is a newer discovery and it's so good, and it's a newer addition to my beauty routine, but I'm in love with it. If you are breaking out on your body or on your face, or you have dry skin, or your skin needs a little bit of TLC, a little pick me up, it's looking dull, it needs to be bright and rejuvenated, you need this. So I not only love the fact that you can exfoliate your body with this, but the fact that this also is like a 2-in-1 mask as well. So I usually like to shower, shave, exfoliate. You can put this all over your body, which is what I do. I do my chest, my stomach, my butt, my thighs, my feet, everywhere. It's so good. Draws out the impurities, helps to tame any breakouts that you may have on your chest or on your back. I randomly will get breakouts on my back and chest. Like for instance, the other day I randomly got this really huge whitehead, which it looks red right now, but trust me, it's tamed. It was really big the other day, and then I used this. I woke up the next day and it was completely flat. Now it just feels like skin. I mean, it is red, but there isn't really anything there. And it's really nice because it does a good job at exfoliating, getting rid of dead skin, impurities, but it's also gentle enough to the point where you can use it 2 to 3 times a week on your body and on your face as well. And when I use this as a face mask, what I like to do is usually just let it sit for 5 minutes. It's all you need to do. And then when I scrub it away and I get out of the shower, I feel like my skin is just so bright and rejuvenated and super soft. And then my products the next day just go on really nicely. And Frank Body is vegan and cruelty free, and there's good stuff in here. There's caffeine, tea tree oil, charcoal. I also love the fact that the bag is waterproof, so it's not going to get all gross and soggy in the shower. And now that it is officially fall and winter is almost here, you need to incorporate some sort of exfoliator in your routine because it's a must. Even if you only do it once a week, I'm telling you, it is a must. So if you've never incorporated Frank Body in your beauty routine, start now. They're the best. Next up, let's talk about a toothpaste and mouthwash. I have been really loving the Native Fluoride Anti-Cavity Toothpaste. This is just the whitening wild mint with peppermint oil one. I also do like the one that they have with charcoal for whitening as well. This is like just great for everyday use. I love how the back says it's made with love. It's safe, simple, effective. I agree. I love this for every day, obviously morning and night. It's super gentle, but I feel like it does whiten my teeth, it cleans my mouth, leaves it feeling nice and minty and refreshing without burning or stinging or irritating my gums or my teeth. I mean, there's a lot of toothpaste that I've tried that are cruelty free, that are more natural, that I don't love, that I feel like don't really clean my mouth and my teeth and my tongue and everything properly, but this actually does, and I've really been enjoying it. And then also wanted to shout out this mouthwash. This is the TheraBreath Fresh Breath Oral Rinse. This one is the mild mint one. It says fights bad breath for 24 hours. I 1000% agree, you guys. So I didn't really feel like this worked, because when you put it in your mouth and you start rinsing, it really doesn't feel minty or refreshing like Listerine, but there's no alcohol or anything in here, by the way, which I love. So I was like, okay, is this actually working? So I asked Hector to smell my breath, because like that's what we do with our husbands, right? And he's like, your breath smells like breath, like it just smells like normal, which is good. And I was like, I wonder if this actually works for stopping morning breath, because it says up here stops morning breath. So we've been testing it out on the weekends, and it actually does work. I told Hector to use some. We woke up and I was like, let me smell your breath in the morning, and it doesn't smell like morning breath. It smells like, obviously not the best breath, but it kind of just smells like he didn't eat all day and he was hungry. So not really like a very bad like stinky smell, just kind of like an average smell, like you need to eat something, but definitely not morning breath. So this actually does work. I was surprised because normally things like this I feel like are so gimmicky, but no, this actually does work. I have a little bit left and I want to actually maybe try out the other ones that they have because I loved this one so much. So I feel like this combo right here is the best. I mean, of course, you need a tongue scraper, a good toothbrush, and some floss, but then you add this in the mix and it's the best combo. I wanted to shout out my new favorite hair brand from Walmart actually. It's vegan, cruelty-free, no parabens, no sulfates, and I'm actually really shocked because I feel like this could be a good alternative to Function of Beauty, which I love, but it's obviously more expensive, and I'm all about a good deal. I love Function of Beauty, I still use them, but I feel like this is a good, again, like alternative. It's not exactly the same, but it's a good vegan, cruelty-free, sulfate-free hair care option at the drugstore. So I've been using their shampoos and conditioners, really love them. I love their hair oils as well. I've been testing them out and I'm really enjoying them lately, and I love their transforming hair mask. This is a product for me that I've been using for a while. I talked about this in a pamper routine and it's so good. It's nice and creamy and thick, but it doesn't weigh your hair down. You just need a little bit to get the full effect in your hair. I usually will let this sit in for about like 5 to 7 minutes. I'll exfoliate, shave my legs, and then rinse this out, and my hair I feel like is so soft and bouncy. Helps to tame any split ends that you may have, dry damaged hair, color treated hair. It's just a really great hair mask. It also smells really nice and it has been doing wonders. They also have a really good dry shampoo as well. So basically you just spray it on your dirty hair. You let it sit obviously for like 5 to 7 minutes. I never used to let it sit. I would just like rub it in. And then I was like, why is this dry shampoo not working? So you have to let it sit for a little bit and then you just kind of rub it in with your fingers and your hair is like fresh again and it gives it so much volume. So I love this brand. Did I tell you what it is? Heritage by Mindy McKnight. So good and actually relatively affordable for the products, for what they are and for like the quality of them. I feel like they're kind of like high-end hair products at a really great price. And they have been my go-to new favorite drugstore brand. I mean, this I've used forever, and I've also had the dry shampoo for a long time as well, but a couple of their other products are newer for me, but they're actually really, really good. The last like random favorite is this perfume. So this is the Eau de Juice Good Energy perfume. You can get this at Ulta. This was actually sent to me in PR, but it is so sweet and floral, but not too sweet and floral, but it lasts a long time on the skin. It's not like overwhelmingly sweet to the point where you're gonna get nauseous or sick. Has the perfect amount of floral in it. It's definitely a more like a summery scent, but I feel like I could still use it in the fall because it's like very girly and sweet, and I just love the fact that it lasts a long time on my skin. I'll put the notes right here because clearly I'm not the best at describing scents, but I definitely smell a little floral in there, a little hint of like vanilla sweetness, but it's not too much. I'm not talking about like warm vanilla sugar. I'm talking like girly vanilla, you know what I mean? So that has pretty much been one of the only perfumes that I've been using. Now let's get into the makeup. So let me start off with some makeup brushes that I cannot put down. So this is from the Nazanin Kavari and BH Cosmetics brush set. I purchased these myself because I love to support other YouTubers and I love Naz and BH Cosmetics. So I was like, okay, I have to get this. Plus it was such a good deal, you guys. You get 9 brushes for $27 plus this really cute makeup bag that I feel like is so chic and beautiful, and like the pop of green is everything. So I honestly wasn't gonna get makeup brushes because I have so many makeup brushes, but honestly I've only been using these and a couple other ones in my collection, and that is it. These are, I feel like, all that you need for an everyday makeup look. They are such great quality, and I've tried many brush sets from BH Cosmetics and they're amazing, but these are definitely by far the best and my favorite brushes that I've tried ever from BH, from any brand, like for the face. They are so good. They're such high quality at such a great price. So all of these brushes are amazing. Like I said, I do use every single one of them, and with the addition of a couple other ones in my collection, but they're all really good. But my 2 favorites, like if I could only use 2, it would be these 2. So the number 2 brush from the collection is so good for foundation, and I normally don't like brushes like this for foundation because I feel like they usually don't apply my foundation really nicely. It's very streaky and my foundation doesn't get absorbed really nicely into the skin. But with this, it is so airbrush, like I can't even explain it. There's just something about this brush and these bristles that is just absolutely flawless on the skin. I cannot get enough of it. This is the best brush. And then my second favorite is the number 4 brush. This is a great under eye powder brush. It just fits perfectly right under your eyes, or if you want to clean up any contour that you have going on, it's truly the best. The shape, the bristles, it's literally the best. I normally would apply my translucent powder with my sponge and, you know, use a lot of powder, but with this I just do a little bit of powder right under my eyes and it looks so smooth and airbrushed. And my under eyes aren't perfect, but I feel like this makes it look as perfect as it can be. So these two brushes are the best. I also love the other ones too for blush and bronzer and highlighter, but something about these two, they're just so good. I wanted to give a big shout out to Rare Beauty. I recently tested it out about like 2 weeks ago or so, so kind of a newer product to my collection, but I have been obsessed with this foundation and using a lot of the products nonstop. I feel like I have like a good kind of review on the products based on what I did use so far, because whenever I do put the products on, I'm usually wearing them for several hours throughout the day. This is probably, well, this and then 2 other products are my favorite from the line, but the foundation is so good. I'm wearing it today and I feel like it's just the perfect everyday foundation. It's nice and hydrating, but it's not overwhelmingly dewy on the skin. It feels like a BB cream, but it has a really nice medium coverage. It's super natural and it's just very breathable and fresh. And mine is in the shade 230N currently, and I love it. I love the packaging. I love everything about it. I love like the message behind the brand. I feel like in general, it's just a really great brand. I do recommend shaking this foundation. That is a must. If not, if you don't shake it and you just apply it directly to your skin, when you blend it out, it will kind of like flake and just not blend really nicely into the skin. So shake it for at least like 10 seconds and then apply it. And I'm telling you, it is so incredibly flawless. It's gonna feel lightweight, but it's gonna give you that coverage that you need. The shade range is great. There's 48 shades. I really like it. So yeah, this has been like a go-to of mine lately. And then another product from them, if you are looking into splurging, are their cream blushes. I actually want to go out and get more because at first I only had this color, which is called Bliss, which is a really beautiful like everyday pink. It's not too pink or overwhelming on the skin. These blend so seamlessly, you guys, and like a little bit goes a long way. I usually do like 2 tiny little dots on the face, and that's really all that you need. So this is the color Bliss. You can just see it's like that really perfect muted pink. And I normally don't love pinks, but I've been so into pink blushes lately. This is stunning, like so pretty. They're so cushiony and soft, and when you first apply them, they might look a little crazy, but once you start blending them out, they are just so cushiony and velvety on the skin, and they blend very seamlessly. I also have the color Grace here, which is more of like a fuchsia, and I was really nervous about this color at first because I normally don't use bright pinks like this. Like if I do pink, it's going to be a light pink, but once you actually have it on the skin and you blend it out, it's actually very wearable. You obviously don't need this much. I just have a lot to show you the color and what it looks like, but wow, these are incredible. This is the best cream blush formula that I've tried like ever. I've tried Glossier, Fenty, and I feel like these are the best. And actually, technically, it's not like a cream blush, it's a liquid blush. The other products that I love from them are the lip souffles. These are so nice. They basically feel like nothing on the lips, but the colors are really pigmented and vibrant. These are the 3 shades that I really love. The texture of these is sort of like a matte lip cream like from NYX, but they're a little bit more pigmented and a little bit more whipped on the skin. They're just super lightweight. The texture is very velvety and very soft, and it's very different than most lip products, but these are the 3 colors right here that I have. So up top we have Inspire, then we have the shade Heroic, and then the last shade is Brave. You can build them up also with like 2 or 3 layers, and they're not going to crumble, and they're still going to be really vibrant and pigmented. If you want a lighter wash of color, use a little bit less. And the same goes with their cream blushes as well. You can make it very subtle, or if you want something more intense, just add a little bit more. But the line in general is not meant to be like full coverage glam. It's really, I feel like, natural, perfect for just everyday glam or just natural makeup. So same with the foundation. You're not going to get super full coverage with it, even if you build it up, but that's the point of the brand. So I feel like you have to go into it knowing that. Speaking of blush, we have 2 different blushes to talk about. Well, 3, but 2 different brands. So first I have the BH Chocolate Orange Truffle 4-color blush palette. So BH has a bunch of these little palettes, but this one is by far my favorite. It barely looks like I've used it because it's such a soft formula to the point where it's not going to be powdery, it's not going to fly all over the place, and there's not a ton of kickback, which I really love. So this blush is just like me. These are like the kind of tones that I typically prefer, that I go to every single day. It's just the perfect peachy everyday palette. I really like it because the tones are nice and orangey and peachy, but it's not overwhelming. So I feel like it could be a good everyday palette even for fall, even though it is a little bit more peachy and warm. If you're into these kind of colors, this is perfect. The formula is long wearing. I love how they have so much variety with these palettes in particular, so they don't just have 1 or 2 blushes. They have a bunch of ones, some darker ones, some lighter ones, just depending on the type of blushes that you like. But palettes are always my favorite because you can always mix and just create the perfect shade for your cheeks. I feel like swatches don't really do the colors justice. Like when you actually apply them to your cheeks, it's the real deal. Like it gives you the prettiest wash of peachy pink. Like the swatches are not good. Take my word for it. Put these on your cheeks and you'll see what I'm talking about. I almost forgot to mention this as well. And just because fall is here does not mean we're giving up on blush, okay? I feel like a lot of people think that you can just use blush in the spring and summer, but blush is essential all year round. And this is another color that I can't believe I forgot, but it was in my everyday makeup vanity because I've been using it also a ton. It's from Essence. It's the blush, and it's called Bespoke number 20. This is the perfect fall blush if you have my skin tone, if you're a little bit darker, if you're a little bit lighter. It's gonna just give you that natural bronzy rose flush to your cheeks that I feel like we all love. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it makes your cheeks look super healthy and pretty. Kind of like it's a really cold fall morning. You just went outside, you got some hot chocolate, or you just went to Starbucks and then you came back in and your cheeks are just naturally flushed, and it's so pretty. The texture of these is very smooth and velvety also, and again, even swatching it, you can't really see the color, like the true color. There's just something about this color that I cannot get enough of. I mean, I already have blush on, but you can kind of see the color on the cheeks, like, you see what I mean? Like, it just kind of looks like you were outside and you came in and you just got a little cold and your cheeks are just so pretty. I feel like nobody talks about Essence blushes, but they are so long wearing, you guys. And like, something about the formula of these is just incredible. And the fact that these are literally under $5 blows my mind because they're really good. Great formula, but it's a different color versus these. These are more peachy, you know, still great for fall. I love these. These are colors that I go to every day, but this is like that muted kind of wash of color that I feel like we all need a blush like this in the fall, and this one's perfect. I love that. And then more blushes because I am just a blush fanatic, but I have the bite-sized face duos from e.l.f. These are so good. $3 palettes, you guys. You get a highlighter, you get a blush. These are the two best colors also. So kind of going with like that natural flush. This is sort of a very similar color to the one that I just mentioned, but it's more matte. So this is the e.l.f. bite-sized face duo in the shade Spiced Apple. The reason I like this one so much is because, again, it is matte. It's gonna just give you that natural wash of color. These are so pigmented, really long wearing. The highlighters in here are also really pretty. This one in particular is a little too dark for my skin tone at the moment, but I have another one here which I'm wearing today, which I feel like gives you prettiest glow without emphasizing texture and being super glittery. So the other one that I love is in White Peach, and this one is definitely more peachy. Again, kind of like the BH palettes, but these are great because they're super travel friendly and they're so little, so they're great just for like every day on the go. And the highlighter in here is the most perfect kind of tangerine golden highlighter, and I'm wearing this today, and you can just see like hello, $3 palette, you cannot beat it. I'm wearing it today, and like I said, I just feel like it's so smooth and soft on the skin, but it still gives you that perfect glow. So these are incredibly pigmented, and today I'm actually wearing this. Before I put the Essence blush on, I was wearing this blush, and it's so pretty. I love it. Okay, I have too much blush on, Jasmine, like hello, let's blend this out. Let's talk about eyeshadow palettes. So with this next palette, I'm kind of cheating, but I had to mention it because it truly is the best fall palette, and like it's like a palette that I didn't know that I was going to be this in love with. So this is the Toothpaste Pumpkin Spice palette. It doesn't smell like pumpkin spice, which is a little bit of a disappointment. It smells like their regular chocolate palettes. I just tested this out last week on my channel, and I'm wearing the palette today, and I can't get enough of it. The colors blend so seamlessly. I honestly wasn't that impressed with Too Faced for a while, and even when I saw this palette, I was like, okay, it's another neutral palette, but I actually like used it. The colors layer really well. They're so pigmented. They're easy to work with. Color scheme in here is really nice as well. I love the purples with the warm tones. It's just like my kind of palette. So this I really love. I just wanted to give it a quick shout out. Another palette that I think is great for fall is the Supreme Nudes palette from Artist Couture. You can get this at Sephora. It is sold out online currently, but you can get it directly on their website, which I know is like a lot of people don't like to order online, but I'm telling you, it is so worth it. This is the prettiest, most like natural, everyday fall palette. I love how the tones in here are really soft and sultry, very sexy. I always get uncomfortable saying that word, but like honestly, when you look at the Pumpkin Spice palette, the browns are a little bit more rich, the oranges are definitely more bright, and then when you look at the Supreme Nudes, it's a little bit softer. So I feel like it's great for date night glam, everyday glam, and I feel like there's not a lot of like soft glam palettes. A lot of them have bright shades in them, or they're just too overwhelming, too much black, too much shimmers. This one is just like that perfect happy medium that I love. It has the perfect amount, I feel like, of mattes and shimmers as well. Love this palette. Great packaging, great formula. It's really good. So I've been really obsessed with this one. This one I've been using for a while. I've had this in my collection for a few months. The Pumpkin Spice is a little bit of a newer addition, but I still wanted to mention it. So I feel like these are two great fall palettes, and honestly, that's like all you need. And then we have two lip liners here. So the first one is the NYX lip liner in the shade Nude Truffle. This is a great everyday fall lip liner. It's a little bit more cool tone, but I love it with pretty much all of my lip combos. It is a really great formula. If you've never tried NYX lip liners, please do so right now. They're so affordable. They have so many different colors, and Nude Truffle is truly that perfect everyday fall lip liner. And then I recently discovered the NYX lip liner in the shade Natural, and I'm shocked I've never tried this color. This is definitely a more natural color, literally just like the name implies, but this is what it looks like right here. I usually go for wooden more than retractable because a lot of retractable tend to break, but this is such a great formula. So Natural is a little bit more muted versus Nude Truffle that definitely has more of like a brown undertone to it. So I think it just depends on what you like. I like them both. Whenever I'm doing something more brown or a little bit darker, I'd go with Nude Truffle, and then for everyday, I feel like Natural is the perfect shade. Last but not least, I wanted to shout out a new podcast that I recently started listening to. I finished it now, but it is so good. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. I was calling it Relatable, but it's Related, with Amanda and Carly Bybel, which I'm sure you guys know who they are. I have been watching Carly for so long, and after listening to this podcast, I just feel like I've gained like a more appreciation for both her and her sister. Like, they're so relatable, they're so down to earth. I love how it just feels like we're all hanging out, like they're my older sister or they're my friends, and we're just having girl time, and that's, I feel like, the best thing. And whenever I watch somebody, that's what I look for. So I love the fact that I could get that connection just through a podcast. I never ever listen to podcasts. They were just really not my thing, but now I'm starting to get more into them because I loved this one so much. I just really enjoyed it, so definitely check it out. It's on Spotify. I listened to it in like less than a week. It's so relaxing, even when I was driving, when I'd be cooking, cleaning. It's just something that I love to listen to, and it was very comforting. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. So that officially completes this favorites video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys get to try out these products and love them just as much as I do. If you have any other favorites, beauty, non-beauty related, podcast, shows, whatever, let me know down below. I always love your recommendations, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye!
Want your kisses in the morning light.